Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk about my experience in Korea, and also for sparing your hard to get time to listen to what we are saying. Actually, my presentation is, I'm not talking much about my research, but probably about my life experience in Korea, and just in a summary. So the title was already past it though, but how to make the best out of Korea. And I will talk about the Korean study. That was my first life at Harlem University. And then the next one is my undergraduate study at Gangwon National University in Chuncheon, Gangwon, you know. And then my master's, PhD, and postdoc at Post-Tech University, and life outside lab or outside academics, and then how to get job, or probably just some short introduction, how to prepare your CV. So just what I talk about. My first step was here at Harlem University in 2010 to 2011. Actually, I came to Korea as a KGSP student. How many are KGSP students? Yes, so I was here. That was the first time I landed in Korea. So, and then in 2011 to 2015, I joined my undergraduate program at Gangwon National University. Actually, very small university somewhere, Samcheok campus, not even the whole, not the big KNU, it's the Samcheok campus, very small university. And then next, I moved to Post-Tech for my master's, and then I continued to do my master's at Post-Tech, and then PhD, and then postdoc. You know, postdoc is not academics. You know, most of the time, people are doing postdoc. You are planning how to move to the next step. So if you stay in the postdoc for a long time, we are struggling to find the next where to go. So, and then finally, I moved to Samsung Electronics in Hwasong. So I work here as a staff engineer. So at Harlem University, so how was life there? As KGSP student, normally during the orientation, we are many. But when you go to your university, you end up like you are one person in a class of many foreigners from different countries. In my case, this is me. So I was the only African at that time. That was 2010. And the good thing, the funny thing is that most of my classmates, they were self-sponsored students. So they don't care about the topic. You know, you have to pass topic level 3. That was one serious condition. And if you don't pass it, you are given additional 6 months. Otherwise, you have to go back and meet your friends back home. So this was a very big worry for me, you know. Nowadays, the government has changed the policy. Like, even if you fail the level 3 test, they give you some time. And that time, no, the exam structure has also been changed. That time, there's a basic, intermediate, advanced. So when you are in the advanced, it's really advanced. But now they have kind of mixed everything. So they try to give some opportunity. And then, so I was there, the only African. And then classmates mostly spoke their native language. Actually, I had many friends, Chinese, the Chinese, the Mongolians, and the Chinese, Mongolian, Vietnam friends. So during the Korean class, the teacher talked in Korean. When I interact with my friends, they speak their own language. Now I'm there, I can't say anything. And I remember one guy from Turkey asked me, he said something like, hey, you are coming to Korea as a government scholarship student, and you can't even say annyeonghaseyo. And I felt so dumb, you know. You know, as a KGSP student, you know, the government considers so many things. Your academic background, so you think you are the best, and then you come here, you can't even say annyeonghaseyo. And the teacher asked me, can you write your name? I couldn't even see what she was telling me, so I had to figure this out. It was very tough for me. So that's how. So after class, I stayed back, tried to do something. I was thinking about the topic level 3. All my classmates back home, if I fail this, I have to go back and then start again from where I left in Kenya. Well, our friends are already moved. So I was just thinking about this, and I spent some time studying alone, and it took a lot of energy out of me. And then in the beginning, so my results were like this, see, this way. So this is around this time in November 2010. My results for is it the internal exam, the topic exams? they look like this. And then what I realized is that, when you spend time studying and doing a lot of stuff, you have to know two things. In the Korean language school, you have to know the system, how they are doing the exam and how they are teaching. In Kenya, if you are doing physics or you are doing chemistry, you can study all the stuff, everything you can do. But I realized later on in Korea, when they set the exam, it is the same book. So if you can remember, master everything inside this book, then you go to exam, you can finish very quickly. So I realized that during the exam, most of my friends, they take like 30 or 20 minutes. An exam that is supposed to take 2 hours, they take like 30 minutes and they are outside. And then I wonder, what is wrong with me? So I started panicking. And then later on, my friends told me, the Chinese friend, they told me, hey, that question is here, here, they're all here. But I didn't know, I couldn't speak anything when I came to Korea. So it takes me some time to remember this. And then I changed my tactics. So you can see with the time, my scores began to improve. But then, how did I change the tactics? So I spent more time with Koreans. And then I started watching. Once I go to the dormitory, I had to spend the 24-hour KBS news. Even if I don't know, I thought like I'm a small baby starting a new life. And then I used to go to the library lounge. Library is a very serious place where people study. So I normally go to that lounge where people sit and make noise. So this is where I know. By the way, my MBTI is my MBTI. How do you call it? It's called ENFJ. So I'm very talkative and very. People in my high school, the principal used to beat me up because I have to keep quiet. That is very difficult for me. So I had to go to the library, go to the lounge, and then also started looking for these multicultural centers where we can play some drums and meet so many friends, and then taking parts in contests. So later on, after you make your strong base, by the way, by the time I started doing Korean contests, I already had topic level 6 just after 3 years. And then I also moved to coffee shops. Yeah, so spend my time with Korean friends eating samgyeopsal. And actually some of the Chinese friends, I went to eat samgyeopsal for the first time and I took a lot of rice. And then the guy told me, hey, why do you spend a lot of money and come here to fill your stomach with rice? Because the money is for the samgyeopsal. So from that day, I realized once you go to a restaurant, the first thing is make sure you put the meat inside as much as possible. So rice is a subsidiary. And then, so that's what I was talking about. So I went to several contests. The books, this is how I used to study. So you can see, this might be, I think, maybe 6 or maybe more than 8 years back. This is how I used to study. And this is when I won the first prize, the whole of Korea foreigner speech contest, minister award. So this is the picture. So I put a lot of effort to do all this kind of stuff. And nearly my environment was full of Korean. Everything I would do, because it reached a point when I was in the office and I met my supervisor, and one foreigner came to the office and professor asked me to help translate to the professor. And I looked at the Korean professor talked to me, and then I talked to the other foreigner in English. And then I made a mistake, so professor asked me in Korean, I asked the foreign professor in Korean, and then I talked to Korean professor in English. And then the foreign professor looked at me and I said, hey, man, what are you saying? Then I realized I was speaking something totally different. Then, yeah, so that can tell you I was becoming crazy. And then, so after Hallym University, so why must you study Korea in the first place? I didn't know, but one time my professor told me, like, you focus on your study, you focus on your major. My field is material science engineering. But he told me in Korea, you can learn the strongest weapon is Korean language. Everything you can study, and what is left, what you think is less, you think you have some, you need to perfect something. Go to the company or go to the next place, they will teach you how to do it. That's how it works. So first, communication must be very efficient with people you are working with. So after trying to improve my Korean, then I found this one. I got the Korean government scholarship. Actually, this is before I could speak Korean. But after Korean, I got several scholarships because I also maintained very high GP. By the time I was graduating, I had a 4.23 out of 4.5. So this scholarship. So your academics, you have to manage it by yourself. The second strongest thing is the Korean, like my friends talked about. So I got these kind of scholarships, so you can see them, including police scholarship, very rare and very, very weird scholarship. You know, yeah. So most of the child scholarships, and actually these ones, like this one, oh, this one is like Ujong scholarship. It's almost 4 million every semester. You just need to submit your staff and credentials. And then the Wung Foundation scholarship is also very good. They are still working. You can look for them later on. And then jobs and internships. If you have Korean, I was the foreign representative at my university. And at some time, I wanted to look for part-time job, not even part-time, internship. I applied with the Korean students. And then later on, things didn't work out. And then actually, when the company came back to our university and they came to organize, to talk about this internship program, and there were several Koreans, and then I was a foreigner there, and then after the presenter talked, and then he asked, anybody has a question? I was the first one to raise my hand, even before Korean students. And then I told them, I already applied for the internship, and I was speaking in Korean. I told them the situation, and the guy told me, hey, if you apply next time and you are not, you don't get the position, call me. He gave me his number, But fortunately, in the next round, I got the opportunity to have the internship. So that is possible. And then you have the time to process your visa very quickly. Shopping, free food in the restaurant. Every time I go to a restaurant and I talk to Ajumoni, and I eat so well. Actually, nowadays I rarely eat other food except pudechige, kimchi jjigae, and this kind of stuff. Whenever I start eating, they ask me, hey, how do you eat this one like this? I say, yeah, for me, without kimchi jjigae, she will another. Without kimchi jjigae, I can't do without that. So after eating, they ask me, don't pay. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. And I remember at that time I was going to Incheon Airport. I was going back home. And then that restaurant where I didn't pay, after coming back from Kenya, I gave that lady this kind of wrist. It's a Kenyan flag, has got some meaning. Like the black is the Africans, the red is the blood that flew during the independence struggle, and then the green one is the beautiful land of Africa. So I brought this and gave to the lady, and she really thanked me. So I think if you know Korean, you will get so many things unknowingly. My intention was not to go and eat without paying, but I ended up going without paying. So you also have to appreciate this kinds of opportunity. And then next one is, so these are the scholarships that I got. Yeah. Then finally, after my graduation in Kangwon University, I decided to stay back in Korea, and then I decided to apply to Posttech. So when I was joining Posttech, actually, I also did my interview and every staff in Korean. And then they asked me, that time we were about, I think, 17 people. I was the only foreigner. And then before the interview, we took a picture with my Korean friends. And then they told me, we are taking a picture now, but after the interview, people have different moods. You cannot take a picture again. So we did that. And then, fortunately, I was accepted at Posttech. And then, from there, these are the scholarship I was talking about. I got this kind of Daeung scholarship, and then Ujong scholarship. So, while as a graduate student, even some people have families. The PhD, financial assistance is not that enough, right? Yeah. So why not get these ones? It's like killing two birds with the same stone. Get the Korean, get the money, brighten your future. Quite simple. So. And then the next one. So my bachelor degree was this, which I already talked about. So still, language of instruction is Korean. You are lucky. Those who are in KIST, and you have so many international friends. But in my undergraduate, you can see my face is so dark here. I'm worried about so many things. The material science, I was admitted to material science engineering, and all the language of communication is Korean. So. Even the one that I studied, even after finishing your Korean language course, there's a very big barrier between this normal, like going to the market, how much is the olmai, and then you sit down, you want to do serious work in Korean. That is another story. So those worries bothered me to some extent. So maintaining good grades and understanding the lecture. So otherwise, if you don't maintain good score as KGSP student, also you have some warning from the government that you know. So how did I do? So actually, what I've put in this slide is actually what helped me also in my graduate life. So one is you have to pay attention to class lectures. I used to sit in front, and as I said, I was always the only foreigner. So even if the lecture is as boring, even sometimes it's so tiresome, but if I close my eyes, I was always thinking the professor will be saying, what is wrong with this African? He has traveled all this distance to come and sleep in my class. So I thought this about myself. It always kept me awake. And then next, actively participated in projects. Yeah, projects, and then also avoid unnecessary absence. Don't be absent from class, because Korea, they take that very serious. So good professor relationship. Actually, this was my undergraduate supervisor. We loved each other so much that even we traveled to Africa twice with him. He's a very nice guy. And then ask about the key points of the class lectures after that, and then try to find that yourself. I studied the Korean textbook and English textbook at the same time. And then revise your classwork, match the English and the Korean version. That's what I just said. Read for the next class, and then complete your work in time. Spend time with the Koreans. This is what we used to do. After class, we go to my Korean classmates, and then we spend time. That's the time you can get to know what Koreans are thinking about jobs and serious, not just a superficial talk. You know, when you meet a foreigner and you say like, oh, 안녕하세요, 다음에 밥 먹자. In Africa, if you say, 다음에 밥 먹자, let's eat together next time. By the way, next time you find a number of people making a line, let's go eat, you say it. But in Korea, it is kind of like a greeting. Okay, so this is in the PhD and postdoc life. So the same thing, so many worries, heavy workload, finding research topic, then learning about new equipment, exam fever, equipment my friends had already talked about. So how I did about that is accompany, first, understand your supervisor's research interest. This is very important. Actually, this is very key, because if you don't understand what your professor is doing, you will change your topics several times. Next, you want to get some research fund for what the project you are going to do. Maybe they might not tell you, we are not supporting you, but indirectly, you must know. If you know by instinct, because I've been here for 13 years. So somebody can tell you like, oh, this is not good, but by the way, you have to know what your professor does, and then it will save your time and deciding on your topic. Prioritize your work. Like in your first year, learn the equipment as much as possible, because you'll never be a visitor forever. They will welcome you. You'll be welcomed for some time, and then after that, you have to carry your own cross. So you make good time of your first time in the PhD. This will help you a lot. And then develop interest in what others do. You share a lot. You can get something. And then, for me, outside research lab, I used to, after night work, we go eat ramyeon, do all kinds of stuff. We eat out, and then go for conferences. And this is me doing some internship. Actually, this is in a metal company. It's called Dongyang Cement. So I worked there just an internship during my undergraduate. And then this. So by the time I finished my PhD after 4 years. I had a total of 21 publications. International conferences and 1 patent. Yeah, so we published in some good journal, Nature Electronics, Nature Nanotechnology. So you can find this, but I don't talk much about that. And so then after some time, I finished. Then I graduated. I thanked God. Then what next? So the things I did more outside life was this, going for Korean contest, go for like Korean writing, this holiday, participate in this kind of events. This is Hwasong speech contest, and sometimes, same. Kimjang. This is I used to stay, after some time I moved out of the dormitory and I was living with the landlady. So when she was preparing kimchi, together we made the kimchi. And then, so later on, I got some opportunity to do this kind of stuff. Like, this is a quiz on the block. I don't know whether you know it or not. Mr. Trot, and then there's 비정상회담, and there's 전국 노래자랑. This was very strong one, because after 36 years of Koreans who already got the prize, again we go for another contest, and this time I got second prize. This one. And then here is what is it called? KBS, 1 night, 2 days. Yeah, so we also did this program. And then what next? I was looking for a job because once you become a student, there are some changes. No more scholarship, no look for new visa, no more student dormitory, student card no longer works, student restaurant, the food suddenly become very expensive. And you see, well, what do you do? And actually, that card, that doesn't work. You know, some universities are good. They give you some 2 days, but some universities, once you graduate today, tomorrow, get out of the dormitory. So I tried looking for a job in different places, like this, Alabama, ding, ding, ding. And then the most important thing is here also. You have to check your university mails, consult with your department, but the most important thing is if you don't understand Korean, most of the mails, sometimes most important things come in Korean. This you should know. So if you are not very careful, some mails will come and just ask, renew your visa. Another mail comes, we are having foreigners, we are going to blah, blah, blah. But very important one, sometimes, most of them, they are in Korean. So, but because you don't understand Korean, so you miss this opportunity. So I traced all these, so we apply together with all Koreans. And then, so what kind of job was I looking for? One is, after PhD is a long time, very big, painful struggle. I wanted to get somewhere where you can get some job security and then become a senior researcher at some institute or go for industrial. And this time I applied to KRIS, Korea Research Institute of Science and Standards. I failed the stages. They were only selecting one person in Korea, so we have to go up to 6 stages. So in the 6th stage, I think they told me like, 예비 합격자. 예비 합격자 means potential candidate. So if the other guy turns down the offer, then you get the job. But I was very sure that this institute is also very hot. Many Koreans, they are looking for this place. So I say, that guy, I think he's going to get the job. So let me move to the next stage. So I proceeded with Samsung and also with Manchester. So I got the Manchester postdoc position, but then because I had the Samsung, I decided to go to Samsung company. This is how it feels to be in Samsung. You can use your skills, real product. It's a good salary, work-life balance. Actually, you can go to my friend talked about you can go to lab at some fixed time, right? In the company, you can go late like 10, but spend more time in the afternoon. Or you come early in the morning. In a day, you just need to spend like at least maximum of 8 hours. So that's all. So there's no hierarchy. This is not hierarchy. Shouldn't this a problem? This is no hierarchy because the Samsung company has now removed the Koreans have got the top down. You have to respect this kind of thing. But the company this years has removed this kind of system. So we are almost the same. And then quite often, only a few who withstand the most difficult situation for their dreams have a story to tell. Why I wrote this thing is that during my PhD, it was so difficult, so hard, that most of my friends, the foreign friends that you are within the same lab, they ran away. Some came for the integrated program. They do only masters. Some of them moved to Germany. Some of them moved to US. They moved to other places. So I think if you are looking for the most comfortable place, you are also missing the most precious opportunity. So I decided to stay back and struggle with the people around. And then, how was the interview? This is not only for Samsung, but just generally big companies in Korea. So if you first make your application, your CV, and then if you are lucky, you get the phone interview. And if you get through the phone interview, you go to technical interview, HR interview, then health checkup, and then you go for final decision. Actually, health checkup, so long as you are not going to die tomorrow, if you pass the other parts, the company will go with you. So this is the thing. So in the CV, what you need to include, these are the things that I included in most of my applications. And then if you have no experience, normally generally short, but with experience, 3 to 10 pages. Like most of the company I applied for, you have to write a lot of Korean, almost 12 or 13 pages, writing your project work. And then this one. So phone interview, master the content of your, what you did in the phone interview and the CV. And then questions are asked at random based on, actually this is, you should know, I think most of you know this, But I would want to talk about this one. The technical interview also talk about you will talk about your research and how relevant it is to the company. I've seen some CV or this experience that I had. You write about many things and the publications and so many things that you've done. And you must remember, you are not the only person applying for this job. And so many people already passed through the process. So avoid, you can put that in the CV, but put something, highlight something that stands out while you make the interviewees kind of try to, your CV stands out of the rest. So before at least 20 minutes earlier, so your presentation within the allocated time. And then always thank the committee after the interview. So yeah, and then next one is CP test. This is the one I was trying to talk about because this connects with the next one. This one was very funny because you are supposed to answer about 200 or 300 questions in 10 or 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. And there's no time for thinking. And if you think you answer only 1 or 10 questions and you become incompetent, and if you answer more, it's much better to answer more, but wrong. Because it will tell who you are. If somebody asks you, are you smoking? If you know you are not smoking, why do you have to think? You just say, I'm not smoking. But that is the goal of this exam. So do it as quick as possible. And then you go to human resource. So this, master the content, the same. So be precise while answering the quiz and then thank the committee after the interview. Then main objective is, this is how, the most important thing here is the teamwork in this part. Because all the things that you've done, you want to show people how much you've been achieving so many things, but with who and how did you move together? This part is very important because in the company, it's not like PhD where you work everything yourself and publish a paper. This is teamwork. Yeah, health checkup, that's the one I said. If you are not going to die tomorrow, the company will go with you. And then final decision. And then thank you. Hallelujah.